Have you been watching Road to WrestleMania?
A little bit of that, like not exactly much, because it doesn't seem all that interesting. It just seems like everything's just thrown together, like they don't really care at all about their main event or anything like that.
How they reduced Daniel Bryan to an IC title match, how they're just using the Battle Royale as an excuse not to make matches, and then your Divas match, which isn't for the title. Oh, Cena, Black Man, Rusev.
Yeah, Rusev is pretty cool. I saw, online for free, thankfully, to some guy who uploaded it, the match between him and Rusev, and I think that Rusev should have won that match clean, but of course, with the WWE, protecting their cash cow, John Cena, they want to make sure that they got everything in place for him, which, in my opinion, doesn't really do that much, because they've been doing that for years, where, like the way, Daniel Bryan beat Cena, of course, he had to say, his arm wasn't 100%, and with Rusev, he had to use a low blow to, beat him, and that was, I don't know, in a way, it doesn't really add that much credibility to the new talent they try to build, because it just seems like they're just trying to have Cena put these guys over in a bit of a unfair way, so that way you could just say, I wasn't 100% for this and that and everything. So it just seems like, even though Cena is obviously still the top guy and whatnot, WWE still wants him to be, the guy, I guess. But I guess it just depends on how you look at it. I don't know.
Well, I have to agree on that. Rusev, before he low-blowed Cena, has been booked, he put so strongly as a baby face. He felt staggered injured. He's been fighting for his country, his girlfriend. He takes on all challengers, and he's not afraid to stand up when they try to beat him up like Big Show and Mark Henry did. So, in a sense, if it wasn't for the archaic storyline of Russia versus U.S., he's probably the top baby face.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that they're portraying Rusev as Russian, though, because, he's not Russian. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, he's, I think he's Belgian or something.
Bulgarian,
if I recall, right.
Yeah, he's
Bulgarian. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I saw a segment from Raw, it's also online, where Triple H said how internet fans don't know anything. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not watching it, live on TV, and I just watch it online, because it's just WWE is going to push whoever they want to push, despite on what the fans think, and, it's just so typical of them. I mean, it's all about politics to them, and they want to, get it in their fans' head that who they want is the top guy, and who they don't want is the lower, the lower guy. So that's why I don't put up with that crap anymore. Well, I guess I do watch it from time to time, but, the way they've treated guys like Christian and Vladimir Kozlov and, even Booker T. I mean, the way they, they had him when he feuded with Triple H back then, that was just so, they could have handled that way better, better than what they did. And even Goldberg, I mean, having him lose in the Elimination Chamber to a darn sledgehammer. I mean, you want to talk about the ultimate insult to your fans' intelligence. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess, like I said, it's all about politics nowadays and all about who Vince wants on top, but, it is what it is, I guess.
Last year's WrestleMania, the fans were so loud that they got Daniel Bryan to be in the main event against Batista and Orton. That match would have been booed out of the freaking building if that had gone on.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Bryan, he made that match what it is. I mean, he was the highlight of the show. I mean, despite the fact that Undertaker's streak was ended, in my opinion, wasn't exactly how I would have booked it if I was Vince. But I guess, like I said, when you're like him, you focus on, the money and whatnot. But I don't know. I mean, the streak was Undertaker's thing. Now that he's going up against, what's his name? That other guy, Bray Wyatt, I believe his name is. I mean, It's even the build for that match isn't exactly all there. I mean, Bray Wyatt's doing all the work, and Undertaker's not even there.
And then talk about Bray Wyatt's character. Oh my God! If you want to talk about train wreck, first you had him with Luke Harper and Eric Rollins being this dominant 3-man tag, like the Shield, who actually beat the Shield in 3-man. And then you have them break off, no explanation, and him face against Ambrose. And some of the poor book endings of matches I've seen, oh my God, all of them were horrible, especially the one with the monitor blowing up in Ambrose's hand when he was going to hit Bray. That was insulting. Or how Bray interfered against Rollins and Ambrose, where he jumped up to a hologram. That was even more insulting. We never got an official ending to that storyline.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they're literally, the writers and creators and whatnot really just don't care. I mean, all they're focused about is pushing that Roman Reigns guy, I believe. I mean, it's all about him and his character. I mean, he hasn't even really done anything credible in the business. He hasn't beat anyone. Well, I mean, he did have that interesting match with Randy Orton, obviously, but, you know, other than that, he hasn't really done anything. Like, I mean, people say that Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan would have been, like, not believable. I disagree, because, for one, I mean, Daniel Bryan, he's actually won the big one, and he's made credible guys tap out, like Batista and, you know, Shawn Michaels, even though it wasn't an official match. I mean, that put him over more than anything. And I think that if they had Lesnar versus Bryan, it would have been more of a David versus Goliath match, and it would have been way more enjoyable, in my opinion. But I don't know, I guess big guys are still the big thing in WWE nowadays. But thing is, I mean, like, that's not what the fans want. But, like, you know, the more Vince tries to shove that in the fans' face, like I said, the more that's going to draw them away from the product, and they're going to seem less credible. Like having a part-timer as the world champion and only show up once every couple of months. I mean, of course, he's been there lately now since WrestleMania is just around the corner, but you know, you need someone that's passionate about the wrestling, not just the money. Because if the wrestler doesn't care, I mean, then why should the fans care? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree on that. And this episode of Raw is 500,000 viewers down from last year's Raw at the same time.
Are you serious?
Third week before WrestleMania, it's down by 500,000 views.
Damn, wow. Man,
yeah,
well,
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Last night's Raw only had 4 good things going for it. Half of Paul Heyman's promo, trying to get that match over as much as he could. Connor the Crusher, that kid that had brain cancer and died, sadly, getting inducted for the Warrior Award, which was really great. Orton going crazy and beating the crap out of Rollins. And there's another one.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what the fourth one is. I think that... Oh, Bray Wyatt's chair getting lit on fire by Taker. Think about that. 4. And then the bad you had that night, you had Cena beat up not Seth Rollins, the other guy, Rusev, made him pass out, and then forced his girlfriend to give him the match at WrestleMania. And then they announced, you know, instead of having, you know, Paige versus Nikki in gonna be a bathroom break match, no matter how you put it, we're gonna have AJ and Paige and the Bellas in a tag match. This is looking like WrestleMania 16.
Really? I didn't know that. They're just having a tag match? So the title's not going to be on the line? It's just going to be a tag match at WrestleMania?
As far as I know, and as far as I've been reading on every site, it's just the tag match as of now.
Man, that's even more sad than, that's crazy. Focus for the Divas, according to, I mean, I guess, like Vince and Triple H, all those guys, I mean, I guess it's all about Total Divas. I don't watch it because I don't really care for that kind of content, but I don't know. I guess it's been such a hit that I guess they're focusing on the Divas, well, like on that show instead of the actual, Raw and SmackDown. Well, I don't know. I mean, well, it could be that or it could be something else, but, you know, who knows?
From a guy who's actually seen Total Divas, I actually saw this year's finale, and it makes everyone look like crap. Everyone is just awful people from the show. It's that bad.
I can imagine. Literally.
And the thing with Triple H is that he has less control over Raw, but if you watch NXT, his centerpiece is the women, you know, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Bayley, freaking what's her name, that rocker
NXT's
chick.
really good. Yeah, NXT's really good.
I think that would get higher views if you would put in ECW's old time slot. It reminds me kind of the old WWE ECW where these two showcased new talent. I used to like that, especially at the end. Get people like this new guy like CM Punk, this Evan Bourne, this Kofi Kingston guy, you know, Christian, Matt Hardy were over there. And just this whole, get the guys that aren't really that over and have them train the new guys. Like, you have Christian over there. Christian was very good in the old WCW. And when it ended, it made me freaking sad because NXT came along. There was nothing like it for a while. Kind of developmental.
Exactly.
And you're getting to see these people on TV, so when they make it to the main roster, you know what they are, or who they are. To prove how bad McMahon has booked anyone from NXT, the Ascension. Oh my god. You know, these guys were the Illuminati. Basically, they're they weren't even a parody. They were just like these people that believe in Illuminati and beat up anyone who didn't believe in that. And what do we have? A weapon of Demolition and LOD. And they've lost so many matches.
Yeah, it's pretty... it's pretty crazy, that's for sure. And it's like, you know, I don't know. It's like... I mean, I didn't know what to make of them when I first saw them. I was just like, okay, well, I mean, way to, force feed that to the viewers. And again, it's like more of that. Well, you get the whole idea. But,
yeah, basically bad booking. Or I could name everyone they messed over. Bo Dallas, Big E, Emma, Adam Rose. But then again, Adam Rose,
Barrett.
The show, all they were just coming to beat up people.
Yeah.
For the longest time, they're pretty booked until like early 2014. Towards the end of the run, they were booked really well. But before that, they just interfered and it got boring at like 5 weeks in. Well, the whole Wyatt family, we could say, they've been booked to oblivion.
Yeah. And that other guy, what's the name? And that other guy, Curtis Axel, I believe his name is.
Axelmania?
Yeah, yeah, the guy that was supposed to be, the next big thing when he was managed by Paul Heyman. I mean, he was supposed to be the next. Well, I don't know. I mean, I thought that when he went against Triple H, that would have been his his push. But I don't know. I guess they really didn't know how to use him. Well, the WWE creative team anyway. But
here's an honest question: who have they booked right?
Actually, I really don't know at all. I mean, I'm trying to piece together exactly who they have booked right. I mean, they were going a decent route with Daniel Bryan for a while, having him go up against Roman Reigns at Fastlane. Then they had him lose to, make Roman look strong and whatnot, and that ruined that. He made that look like a complete joke. Now they're just throwing him in the mid-card match, and of course there's Roman, who can't even cut decent promos for that matter, yet they're still pushing him. And then you've got, I guess Luke Harper wrestling matches here and there. Then there's that other guy, Rey Mysterio gone. I mean, they got Sin Cara, who's pretty much doing close to nothing, I guess. Then I guess there's AJ Lee, who they're still portraying as the diva, which I guess she's earned it because she's done a lot. But then again, like I said, there are other divas there too, like Paige and Summer Rae. And let's see, what else? I guess Kane and Big Show. Too. I mean, they're booking them strong because they're the authority, and then they're, I guess. I mean, they were the final two at the, at the Rumble, which I have no idea why they're getting pushed in 2015. I don't know. I'm trying to make some kind of sense out of this, and I'm failing miserably here, so forgive me. Yeah.
Or better yet, how Stephanie McMahon faced against Nikki Bella. Don't get me wrong, I was cheering for Stephanie, but completely dominated her in her match. Just, she hasn't fought in one at that time, like 12. Her last match was like in 04 or 03 around there, and yet she completely dominates. In a sense, I could see that, but in a booking stance, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And you're trying so hard to get Nikki over as a babyface, but like I said, problem with the Bellas, they're not face material.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, when they tried to make Nikki face, that storyline, remember? He should have died in the womb.
Yeah.
That is, honestly, in my opinion, the biggest symbol of how bad the Divas have been booked in, like, 5 years.
Yeah.
Or how about AJ?
Yeah, I agree.
Or how about AJ and Paige's never-ending matches that had anything behind them?
Mm-hmm. I think it just comes down to WWE just not caring about their division, really.
They don't care about practically any division, it seems like. But I was going to say, besides the U.S. title and maybe the heavyweight, the other titles are treated like crap.
Oh, man. And look at how, like I said, the unified WWE world title is being presented. I don't know how to say it, but, I mean, Lesnar, like Brock Lesnar is a champion, and he's hardly ever there. So, exactly, they're not even booking the title as something important. It's just like a once in a while that the champion never comes around. So that's like, I don't get that either. That really makes no sense why Lesnar is even the champion, and he's like a part-timer, or like a major part-timer, since he's hardly ever there. I mean, I know WrestleMania is like close, but having him champion for so long, that's what I don't get.
Well, also on Brock Lesnar, why give the title to one of the more unsafe workers?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, he's unsafe to other people if you watch the Seth Rollins-Cena match, and he's unsafe to himself when he faced Undertaker and gave himself his own DDT to his own head. I was going to say the tag team division. A tag team gets hot, break him up. Losers are lucky that they have not been broken up. How many tag teams have we been through just to break them up? And you have a lot of people not doing anything. Put them in a tag team. Jeez, it's not that hard.
Yeah, literally.